Hello and welcome to FBM Saturday by the Master Race Car team in Live for Speed. Tonight we're at Westhill National Reversed with obviously the Formula BMW for round 33 of the championship, live on sim broadcasts on Twitch and YouTube on this glorious Saturday the 16th of August. And I'm Peter Butcher. Joining me in the commentary box tonight is Michael Málek. Michael, how are you doing?
Good evening everyone, very happy to be here again after 2 months. Looking forward to another exciting racing evening.
Yeah, let's get straight into what's happening tonight. We have got two 16-lap races with a top 15 reversal for race number 2 around the 4.4 kilometre, 2.7 mile Westhill National Reversed configuration, which sees drivers head towards that infamous hairpin that we have down at turn 1 in this direction. But before we enjoy the two 16-lap races, we have of course got the one-shot qualifying, which looks like it's going to be contested by an enormous amount of drivers tonight, which is absolutely great to see, Michael. FBM Saturday popular as ever.
Yeah, absolutely. At the moment we have 40 connections, which is very healthy, great, and it looks like the qualifying will take a lot more time than usual. So let's sit down and check what's ahead of us.
Indeed. Speaking of what's ahead of us, we have 3 more rounds that we're going to broadcast this year for the FBM Saturday Championship, a round in October and a round at the end of the year, the finale in December. But tonight, round 33, we are here at Westhill National Reversed, and we are going to enjoy more action from the tiny little 1.2 litre inline-4 rear-wheel drive configuration Formula BMW FB02, which, you know, it's a car that's gone from strength to strength. Popularity is still at an all-time high in Live for Speed. It's a super popular car, and we can't wait to see it again. Let's have a quick look then, shall we, at the championship standings and see where everyone is. Since it's been a couple of months since we saw this, it's Rex who currently leads the table for Frag Masters, ahead of the duo for Master Race Car, Happy D and the Fox there in P2 and P3. But noticeably, unlike other championships that we cover, this one's pretty close, Michael. We've got to fight for the lead here.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at the connection table, it looks like every major participant in this championship is connected to the server, so we may see some interesting swings in points tonight.
Yeah, hopefully. We've got TJ there in P4, Gabba, Onifus, Wow, Roger Chen, Dark and Doctor, your top 10 in the Drivers' Championship. And we'll let these tables fly through to get everyone on stream who has scored at least a point this year before we look at the Teams' Championship. Just about a minute and a half to go before the start of the one-shot qualifying session, which is going to see, as we mentioned, a lot of people trying to set a lap here tonight. So plenty to look forward to. But yeah, a staggering amount of drivers who come here on a Saturday to compete, to score points in the championship. Well over 100 as we look at the table scrolling on by. But yeah, Michael, this is a staple now, really, of the LFS calendar.
Absolutely. So many great drivers are attending this event, and I'm always looking forward to commentate this one because it's always a great action guaranteed.
Indeed. Well, there we are, 131 drivers in the Drivers' Championship standings, which is a great number to see. And let's take a look then at the teams and see who is leading. It's Fragmasters leading in the drivers' standings, but MRc have 2,500 points in this table, and they are solidly in the lead by almost 1,000 points over Fragmasters. So a bit of a switch up, but still, plenty of rounds left this year to change that. See the other table, 24 teams so far this year. Our RYO down there with 2 points. Yeah, Michael, I think the drivers are just about getting ready for the start of the qualifying session, so we should turn our attention to that. It's going to be one-shot qualifying, which means the drivers need to do 1 out lap, 1 hot lap, and then spectate, and then the next driver will cross the line, and so on until we have our grid. So all the pressure comes onto that 1 lap.
Absolutely. The qualifying is about to start just about now, and it looks like the first driver to hit the track will be Fragmaster Josep, who is just now exiting the pit lane, so we can follow him and do a preparation lap with him. As he leaves the pit lane right now, he crosses the blend line, which would give him penalty, but we don't count it here. There he is into the turn one, little uphill, essentially a double right-hander. He goes very wide. And onto the long back straight, he's wiggling his car left and right, trying to get the heat into the tires. Now into the underpass section with heavy braking into the medium speed left-hander. There he goes. And he just overrevved his engine, so he must be a little upset.
Yeah, we're going to be able to hear the engine damage potentially coming from that car now, because that is not the gear you want to be in for that corner. But yeah, it's a long outlap, so all of the drivers will be following Hosep out of the pit lane and following their way round. So this should probably be the only time we will see a full outlap and hot lap. And Hosep has all the attention.
Absolutely. I can confirm that he has some engine damage. It's not possible to determine how much, but he definitely will be down the pace a little bit. So it's unlikely that he will be in contention for the pole position.
Not the best way to start his session.
Absolutely, but his tires are up to the temperature, so at least something goes his way. As he enters the start-finish straight and into the first flying lap of the night.
Yeah, over start finish, getting the car over to the left-hand side, of course, to chuck it in for the first of a double apex corner here. You want to kind of get the car over towards that right-hand side curb, out wide, and then back in for the second apex. A lot of oversteer and not utilising the full width of the track, so not the ideal line through the first apex right-hander there. Then we have a second straight, avoiding the chicane before this twisty section up the hill. Heavy on the brakes before this tight left-hander. You want to avoid the curb. We have got concrete on the back of that curb to make it a little bit more friendly if you do hit it. But then you want to avoid that second apex and then get it tight for this right-hand hairpin, which is almost 180 degrees. Another kick of oversteer on the exit keeps it off the grass, so that'll be just about okay. But now you need to be flat out and a really smooth line through this next section. No need to lift at all before the next double left-hander, which is definitely crucial to hit both apexes here, because there's quite a lot of space between them. Again, Hosep struggling to keep the power down through the rear wheels. You can see how twitchy this car is, and he has clipped the grass, looped the car, and that is going to be probably a retirement from qualifying. Well.
Yeah, it absolutely wasn't the best start for him, and by looking at his onboard, it looks like his top speed was compromised by 3 kilometers per hour, so he was definitely down the pace because of the engine damage. But now we are watching Roger Chen, supposedly, who is about to finish his flying lap instead, and he will be instead the first to set a provisional time with a split time of 58.11, which is, I'm not sure yet how strong a result it is, but knowing Roger Chen is a very experienced driver, it will be a benchmark to beat, as he sets the provisional pole time of 1:35.43. And let's see if player 332 is able to beat him. He's 1/10 of a second down on the last split, so should be close.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get anywhere near to it, hugging the right-hand side of the track, which is exactly what you need to do, but not close enough. Only 0.05 of a second shy of Roger's provisional pole time.
Next will be Rex, who is in the final turn. Full speed, he's few hundredths of a second down on Roger Chen on that last split, so he should be right around his time when he crosses the finish line, and it's there. It's new provisional pole time with 1:35.25, about 0.2 of a second faster. And let's see if Wow from Good Drivers will be able to challenge him, although his split time was not that strong. He goes slowest so far out of the 4 drivers who completed the lap. And
by quite a margin. I think Wow would be a little bit upset by that. That's not where you want to be. Konix next.
Absolutely, and here's the first Master Race car driver, Konix, finishing his lap, and he's right on par with Roger Chen's split time. And over the finish line he goes now, and he's second fastest. 200 of a second faster than Rjuchen. And Jen SVK next, who is a little down on the pace, so he might slot behind Rjuchen and maybe 332 as well. Let's see. And he goes 5th fastest. Next is his fellow teammate Shams, also into the final sector. And not very strong split as well, actually is over a second down, so he will be definitely among the last to place for now. And he goes 7th fastest out of 7, so yes. Next over the line will be Master Race Car Safor, a new member of Master Race Car, who has a very strong split time, and let's see where he lands on the table. He goes 2nd fastest, 1/10 up behind the Rex. And then it's Master Race Cars, the Fox 777, also ready to show his strength.
Yeah, currently P3 in the championship as it stands, so an important qualifying lap this. Let's see if the Fox 777 can get into provisional pole. What he needs. But it's not there, it's P6 at the moment. We join Onifus in the middle part of the track. He's just climbing the final sort of hill. 3 corners to go.
Onifus also seems to have a little weaker last split time, so he has to do a lot of work to catch up to the top drivers here. Hugging that white line on the right side, not wasting a single meter, and he goes 6th fastest. And it's not Gabri next in his apparently a McLaren skin. And apparently a pretty strong split time, so he should be able to finish around the top half of the table. Let's see if I'm not wrong.
Let's see what he can manage. Our 11th driver goes P8 with that one. Next we'll have Sonoris Highwatt coming up to the final corner of the lap. And where will Highwatt slot in? Over start finish. It's currently P9. Let's see if
his mate Luis is onto the final straight as well. He's 600 on a second ahead of his teammate Highwatt, so he should be around his territory when he crosses the finish line. Let's see if he's able to beat him over the finish line now, and he goes 12th fastest, so he's even slower than Highwatt. And next should be S. Murtak, if I'm pronouncing it right. And he's pretty down on that lap, so it will take some time before he finishes the lap. We are currently watching Butar Ruby, but he's not the next to cross the finish line. He's just starting his lap. And at the background, there's Murtak, as we said, but he's 10 seconds down on pace, so he's not really in contention for any meaningful positions. And as predicted, Mort is now pretty much in the last position, 10 seconds behind the next slowest driver. And as we are still watching Ruby, there's Zlatanov finishing his lap, which is also very off pace. So we will instead keep an eye on the Butar Ruby, who is on his flying lap now, and he seems to be doing very well, although doing some small mistakes. A solid run from him as Zlatanov goes P14. Rubis split time is not very strong as well, so he might be around the midfield. It's 58.83, which is about 6 tenths behind what Roger Chan did early in this qualifying. So he might be around P10, I believe. Let's see in a few seconds. He goes 12th fastest. His teammate Butar Twincam is finishing his lap as well. He's a little faster than what Ruby did a few seconds before, but he's still a bit too slow to catch the pole position time. And over the finish line he goes now, and he's 10th fastest. Next over the line will be Bilo, who is also in the final sector in this rather beautiful black and cyan car.
That's very nice, that, isn't it? With the streak down the side.
Yeah, very simple design, but strikes very well. It doesn't give him any speed advantage though, so let's see where he lands on the provisional qualifying time, and he goes 9th, which is a very good result. And then it's Boy, just finishing his lap. He's a bit more off pace, so he will be around P15, and he goes P15. And Krite is next with a pretty strong split time actually, so let's see where he lands among the stars. Onto the finish line. Just as everyone else, he's hugging that right-hand side line, marking the end of the track, and he's 6th fastest, which is a very good result. And next over the line will be Dragoni. There he is in that rather default classic BMW skin, and he completely misses that turn. He will be able to continue that lap, but he'll be definitely off pace.
Yeah, a less than ideal line through the middle part of the track there. But climbing the hill, just needs to get a time on the board, really. See where he'll start race 1.
Absolutely. Go to the finish line. He's about 3 seconds off pace, and he barely collected his car on the way to the finish line. And he goes P21st, so not very surprising. As we can switch to Hermani, who is also about 2 or 3 seconds behind the leader pace. Not sure if he did any mistake in the first half of his lap, we didn't see. But let's hope that he manages to at least finish the lap in a good stance, as we are now watching him. He opts for not hugging that right-hand side line and goes P21st. As Jared 254 is now next over the line. He's about 1 second behind the leader at that last split. So that should be good enough for P15 to P12, I believe. He also decides to go left-hand side onto the finish line, which is a longer way. Next over the line will be Race Green Magic, who is in the middle sector. He just now made that last split time 59.45, so a little slower than ideal, but still a good pace for him. And it looks like he will be the only Race Green member racing tonight, as his teammate Mandola, but he's apparently only a spectator for tonight. So all hopes of the Race Green Autosports are on Magic, who is now finishing his flying lap. Let's see what magic he has in the sleeves. I'm crossing the finish line now in P17, so there will be a lot of work to do. As Mr. Martin Kapal is now in front of the TV cameras. About 1 second of the leader pace as well.
Yeah, quite the spread of times in the qualifying here, which should make things quite interesting in our races tonight. But let's see where Martin slots in. Looks like it's going to be outside the top 10 at the moment. but where can he manage to slot in? Hugging the right-hand side of the track and across the start-finish line in P18.
There is Sanma also finishing his lap. He's a little bit faster than Martin Kapal, but not by much, so let's see how far ahead or behind he will be, as he's about to cross the finish line now, and he goes P15, so pretty good result for him, as we are now switching to Loki, who is in the middle sector of the track, so we will have a few more turns following him, and he's very much off pace, so he may have made some mistake in the first sector we may have not seen. Currently we have 26 drivers who have completed the flying lap, and there was also Hoseb who opted to retire during the lap, so that is 27 entries so far, and we are far from done.
Yeah, great number of cars, and you can see the absolute spread of times because of the nature of this session, the one shot.
And here is a player called Spare, who is on his flying lap as well. He's about 1.5 seconds behind the leader pace, so he should be good around P12, I believe. As he gets a good final 2 turns.
Here comes Spear. Over start finish. P22 as we switch to TAV Criminez with 2 corners to go.
Yeah, Criminez is on a very solid lap, so he should be able to start in a good position for the race number 1. He doesn't go onto the grass and will be hugging that right-hand side line. And over the line he goes now, and it's P14. So about a midfield really, behind John SVK from Master Race Car. And then it should be Thomas, driver in a full red car, which apparently isn't Ferrari. But has a really strong split actually, so he might be up to something. Let's see how well he goes.
Yeah, final corner and down the hill, and we'll see where Hamas can finish. P8, a good time. It's the first top 10 we've seen in a while, as we switch to With Whom we will watch the lap.
And it's a very interesting name.
Yeah, very anonymous livery as well.
I was wondering if that's Nico Puntola in disguise, but apparently he's not. Because lately he is very happy to change nicknames into unusual ones. And with whom is about 1 second behind the leader pace. It's not that bad after all, considering the amount of talent we have on the grid tonight.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Final corner. Straight line to the start finish. P19 for With Whom. We switch to AK Destroyer, who is a little further back on the lap, entering the halfway point of the lap here. Into the double left with a kick of oversteer, catches it well, but then goes wide again. Seen a couple of drivers doing that this evening. So another of the Sonoris drivers struggling to put a lap down here. AK Destroyer will try and finish the lap before we see 2 Master Race Car drivers attempt to qualify to conclude our session. Final corner for AK Destroyer. And here he comes. And it's going to be somewhere down the bottom, isn't it? It's going to be P31 only as we switch to Matti. P22 for Matti. Happy D will be the next car.
Happy D is really on a good pace, so let's see where he lands. He should be right around the Super Connex Energy Chen, unless he makes some mistake in the final stretch, which is unlikely.
Yeah, can it be one of the faster times? Across start finish, P6. So a good time there for the driver that currently holds P2 in the overall Drivers' Championship standings. And that concludes our qualifying session. And we can take a look at how everybody stacks up ahead of our racing action this evening. On pole position, it is Fragmaster's Rex, ahead of Sufor, ahead of Conix. Roger Chen, 332, Happy D there in P6, Cried, Onifus, Tamas and the Fox are your top 10. All of them qualifying just over 7/10 of each other. Then we've got Gabri, Bilo, Highwatt, Twincam, Johnny SV Cray, Criminez, Wow, Sanma, Ruby and With Whom your top 20. On the second page we've got Boy, Magic, Matti, Martin Kapal, Lewis, Shams, Spear, Zlatanov, Driftmaster and Loki your top 30, with Hermani, Dragonhi, AK Destroyer and Murtar. Now there's a name missing from that list. Yera's time didn't register on the server, we think because he spectated too soon. The replay picked him up, but the server didn't. So for whatever reason, he hasn't registered a qualifying time. I'm sure he'll be allowed to start at the back, but the time was not registered with us. So 35 cars potentially starting this race, which is a phenomenal grid.
Even more so as Hoseb didn't finish his flying lap at the beginning.
So yeah, maybe allowed to start, minimum. I guess.
Yeah, I believe so. He showed that he knows how to control the car, so he should be safe to race with us tonight.
Yeah, he's a known quantity. Of course, discretion ends with the race organisers, the event organisers, so they'll determine whether he can start or not. And looks like race 1 will be getting underway in just under 3 minutes time. The counter in the background is ticking down, as we can see. Obviously all the drivers coming out onto the track to put in a little bit of practice, Michael, ahead of the start of 2 16-lap races this evening. There is the event schedule. One-shot qualifying is finished, and we'll be starting the first race a little behind schedule, pretty close, only a couple of minutes shy. 16 laps in race 1, which will determine the starting order for our feature race, race 2, with that top 15 reverse grid. Whoever finishes in P15 in the first race will start on pole, P2 will start P14, etc. So adds a little bit of spice to the evening's proceedings.
Yeah, I did a little bit of background race strategy check, and it looks like 90% of the drivers opted for R1 tires, which is the softest compound to be used with this car. So it looks like they will not be struggling with the tire temperature apparently, as they can go with R1s. Will be interesting to see though, as in the heat of the moment the tires can overheat as well.
Drivers here doing pit stop practice, which is really, really important. Of course, all drivers must serve a mandatory pit stop during the races, so it's really, really good to get your practice pit stops in and make sure that you've got it all dialed in before the start, because otherwise, if you don't practice that, it can be a very, very very, very easy way rather to ruin your result.
Absolutely. And in the background, it looks like there Murtagh, who has qualified last and also has high connection times, looks like he will be denied the racing tonight for the safety of everyone else. So that's one car down.
Well, that's fair enough. It's unfortunate, of course, but very, very important to maintain fairness across the session. It's Connix there, hiding behind a polystyrene barrier.
He's just shy.
Camera shy, exactly. Doesn't want to peak too early. 10 seconds to go, Michael, before the start of race 1. Take it away for the grid and enjoy the start.
And here we are for the start of the race number 1 with Fragmaster Rex on position, closely followed by Sufor, Connix, Roger Chen, 332, and Master Race Cars PD. A lot of top drivers at the front of this 30-something cars grid. So it will be a lot of exciting racing action. There is no race leader waiting for the lights to go green. They're all red now, and they go green now. And looks like Rex, he might have had a bad start, but it was no luck. So everyone seemed to have some very good start. Happy D had a stronger start than 332, and he goes attacking as Rex is fully defensive, and he seems to be able to hold off Suffer and Connix. So no change on the top 4. Zeppedi now made position, so did Fragmaster Onefas, and there's Suffer trying to capitalize on the race leader, as he's also Fox fighting, but here's battle for the lead between the Master Race Car driver and Fragmaster driver. Master Race Car driver on the left side of our view, now on the inside of that next hairpin, and looks like Suffer is taking over the lead, and Connix is also trying to look into the inside. Right now it looks like Suffer is under attack from Rex as well again. It looks like the lead might be taken back, but Suffer is now on the inside, and looks like Suffer will be able to hold that lead for the time being finally. And let's hope, I'm not versed at all, but let's hope my teammate Connix will be able to chase after Rex as soon as possible, as we now switch to Signers Lewis and Magic battling it out for P17. A great battle everywhere into the first lap of the 16-lap race. There's good drivers as well, also chasing anyone else, but here's Suffer leading the race and building a small gap on the Fragmaster Rex. Let's see if he's far enough to break the slipstream. He should be, but who will be able to gain in the slipstream is Connix, who is right on the tail of Rex, and there are two guys side by side, Roger and Happy D, battling for the position. 3 wide behind them. Looks like Rex on the inside is able to hold off Connix. They almost touched, still side by side, but Rex maintained his position, and Roger Chen also managed to defend his position from Happy D. And now Roger Chen is attacking Connix, but Connix is taking advantage of the slipstream from Rex, so he's able to get extra speed, and now onto the inside of Rex, and he should be able to claim P2. But Rex manages to disposition on outside, and now looks like Roger Chen is trying to do the same. Side by side with Connix, who is forced to the white line. And Happily with Onefus right behind them. It's a very exciting battle. With now 4 cars battling for the P3. Roger Chen still side by side with Connix. Now Connix will be on the inside, but he's no longer alongside, so he has to slit behind.
Oh, Connix so close to dropping a wheel on the grass. That was super close. But he keeps it on the track.
Very tight through there.
Onifus is well positioned here behind the 2 Master Race Car drivers, about to enter the home straight, of course, but he's too close, and he's lost a bit of time there. Too close in the slipstream, drops back quite a bit.
The Fox goes alongside on the inside now from the left, and as soon as he goes ahead, it will be a. Onifus has spun. He's put his rear wheel on the grass. And he really wants to get into the pit lane now, but there's a lot of traffic, so he was unable. He'll be now crawling around that 3rd lap and waiting for the repairs.
Yeah,
looks like that. there's a very little mechanical damage to that car, so you might be able to continue, but I think it's sensible at this point to pit anyway. Let's see
My
what he
guess
does.
would be the axles will be quite a lot shorter than they were before with the hit onto the wall there. As we've got side-by-side action here between Johnny SVK and Twin Cam down to turn 2. Under the bridge they'll go. Twin Cam on the inside, but slightly further back. Will he back out of it? No, he's keeping the car alongside. Johnny SVK on the outside, slight contact as we head up to the hairpin, and Johnny SVK keeps
and
ahead.
Thomas around the outside.
Yeah.
Slid back behind Twin Cam, and you should be able to use the slipstream on this very short straight. And Martin Kapal is in the mix as well, so let's see how this goes for this group of cars.
Yeah, Tamas not with the best start. He qualified inside the top 10 as Martin goes for a move there. Opportunistic.
Thomas onto the wall.
Yeah, I thought there might have been a bit of contact. Was there a bit of contact? Did Martin give him a bit of a poke? I think he did.
It looked like. It might have been a little bit of luck, but there definitely was something that forced Thomas into the grass.
Yeah, that's unlucky there. Definitely not deliberate, probably there by Martin. But nonetheless, an incident has forced Tamas wide, promoted Martin in place.
It happens, but blame Flame anyway.
Yeah, blame Flame, exactly. Overstart finish comes Sufor to start lap number 4, and he's got a 1 second gap now over Rex. Roger Chen, half a second further back in P3, and then 3 Master Race Car drivers, Connix, Happy D, and the Fox.
And here is battle between AK Destroyer and Fragmaster Kurku, who did not qualify but is in the race. And Kurku is waiting in the slipstream, not trying to overtake. Here we are watching Master Race Car Suffer, who is really solidifying his lead in this race. A really good race from him, as here's Bilo now being under pressure from Gabri.
I think he just got past Gabri on the straight, so I think that's a move made. Gabri being overtaken again there by Highwatt, and actually 3 wide. Johnny on the outside, cuts back inside. He'll have to watch this battle unfold ahead of him. Yeah, Gabri overtaken there by Highwatt. Connix is off. He's in the wall in a big way. So the 3 Master Race Car drivers who were circulating P4 to P6 have been whittled down to 2. And Connix has a bit of damage now on the front left of that car. Oh, as a car spears out ahead of him. Who was that? That was... what's that? Didn't catch it.
Need to be tired. It looks like it might have been magic. But anyway, we are now following Connix in P15. Not anymore, but into the pits goes Gabri at the background. And there goes Onefus in a battle with Cam. And there's Gabri in the pit lane. One of the early stoppers. Let's remind the broadcast viewers that everyone has to do a mandatory pit stop time. No pit work required, but looks like Gabri is doing some reparations to his car.
Not sure why. It's only a sprint race. You shouldn't really be repairing unless you absolutely need it, as Rex picks up the fastest lap of the race, but still the gap to the front is opening up slightly. It came down obviously on that lap, but Gabri's changing setup, doing some major changes to the car's setup, possibly in preparation for race number 2. But you can consider race 1 over really now for Gabri. You don't want to spend long in the pits at all in a sprint race.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like he is ill prepared for the event, and he's looking forward to new opportunities in race number 2 in a few minutes' time. As we are now watching Johnny SVK in battle with Onefus and Twin Cam. Onefus is right beside him. What will be the inside of the next turn? But if Johnny SVK is able to keep it around the outside, he opts to slot behind. So not a position gain for Onefus, but it will be a slipstream battle on the main straight as soon as they get through this fast left-hander. And there we go. Looks like Twin Cam. Yeah, Twin Cam goes alongside as Onefus opts to jump into the pit lane. Twin Cam is on the left of Johnny SVK and slightly behind, so he will be in a difficult position to make the move stick unless he is brave, but he apparently is not. And I think it's a very sensible move to do, because this can end up badly. With Zlatanov being in a big battle with, I'm not sure who that is, but it's a beautiful fight.
Lewis and Jere here.
Scenarios, absolutely fantastic battle, side by side. No contact so far, and absolutely on the limit. And they're both now taking advantage of the slipstream of the yellow car ahead, which should be Jere. Yeah, Jere who...
Zlatanov is in the yellow.
It's Zlatanov.
And Jere in the red and white there. Sorry, Jere's in the blue, Lewis at the back.
That doesn't change the fact that the battle was absolutely beautiful.
Exactly. Well, while we're getting confused here in the commentary box, just enjoy the racing. Why not? Looks like Konix had a brake failure at this point on the track a few laps ago when we saw him come off the road. So a bit of a hardware glitch spells the end of his first race, which is unfortunate, of course. As we head on to the home straight to tick over onto lap number 7 of 16, and it is Sufor leading the race for Master Race Car, closely followed by Rex, who brings the gap under a second now. Then it's Roger Chen, who's even closer than he was before. And now just Happy D and the Fox, after Konix exited the lead battle. 332 finds himself in P6. Cried, Bilo, Highwatt and Johnny SVK are your top 10 currently, with Twin Cam and Martin Capel knocking on the door, try and see if they can affect the lead of this race and try and cement a better place in the standings. Remember, we've got the top 15 reversal, so the top 15 will be reversed for race 2, and we'll keep an eye on who's on the hot seat as we get closer to the end of the race.
Yeah, Rex is now just under a second behind Safar, but there's no DRS here, so he has to do all the hard work on himself. As there is Konix in a battle, yeah.
Yeah, that's AK Destroyer.
Great switchback. Great switchback, and to side by side into that red-handed hairpin. Will be another switchback. It looks like there's an attempt, but not enough speed to make that happen. So AK Destroyer now falls behind. He tries to go side by side. It's sensible to not to do so, as he stays behind.
Got another car off.
Yeah.
Another car off up ahead. That's Loki for SGR. So yeah, an off on lap 1 and another off here. Twin Cam does make it past Highwatt to get up to P10, I think. In fact, no, I think he's battling with Highwatt further up the road. Highwatt fighting with, or loses a place to Martin Capel out of the final corner.
Yeah, it looks like Loki has significant damage to the right-hand side of the car, so he's definitely about to pit at the end of this lap. As Husep is in the pit lane. And Loki, as I said, opts to repair his car. It's race over for him.
More side-by-side action. Zlatanov and Lewis. Lewis in the red, Zlatanov in the yellow. Loki didn't repair the damage, just comes into pit lane to do the mandatory stop, as we've still got side-by-side action here. Oh, but big contact there.
Huge dive from Jere. Absolutely unnecessary.
Forcing the issue. That was a kill.
Absolutely.
And Lewis does rejoin the track, but that was a little bit unnecessary. You can't put 3 cars into that corner side by side, and Jere finds that out the hard way, and unfortunately it was caught on camera for everyone to see.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are initially 50 meters behind, so yeah, that was a very stupid move. And the greatest prize was paid by Luis, who is now down the back of the grid. Still fighting though with the golf cries of AK Destroyer, WoW, and Mate from Master Race Car.
Yeah, green versus red here, look.
Fantastic.
Oh my.
I can't keep up with the position changes that are happening.
It's too much. There's too many changes going on here, as we've got 2 Sonoris cars back together, AK Destroyer and Lewis.
And the car is spinning ahead. I'm not sure who that is, and looks like it was Manchester had spun.
Yeah, he's very, very, very slow. He's had an off earlier as well, and rejoins as I think that's AK Destroyer going into the pits. Yes, it is.
I cannot confirm.
Followed by Manchester. But this is crazy. Honestly, the amount of battles and incidents in this race has been very, very high so far. Very difficult to keep track of, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, Boyd made it stop as well, so did Yara. And there's a tire change for Jera, apparently.
Not sure why you'd need to do that unless you chose a very, very, very soft setup. But Happy D is in P4, 2.5 seconds off the lead. So the top four are still very close in this race, and we're only just over halfway. So there's plenty which could happen. Rex is slowly turning the screw. He's within... Oh no, he goes into the pits. Okay, so he's blinked quite early. That is quite an early pit stop from Rex. He's going to come out in traffic, and that could potentially hurt him. And you could find Roger Chen making the jump. That's an interesting strategy, that, from Rex, pitting that soon, because he's going to come out in unknown traffic.
Absolutely, and the other thing is that in the first speed the undercut doesn't usually work, so this is also not going in the way of Rex.
Big risk, and he's come out behind two quick drivers, Hiwatt and Martin Kapal, that he's going to have to battle through. So questionable decision to pit that early for Rex. He's an experienced guy, but I don't understand the logic of that move.
Yeah, that was some certified Ferrari strategic decision. And we are watching Hiwatt winning in the battle, and very close.
There you go.
Rex is very close. One car down. He now has to go around the outside to clear the second car. Will he try for the switchback? It seems so, and he should be successful.
Wow, losing 0 time getting through both of those cars, but that could have been... He could have been held up so much, but that was very, very, very quick work on those two. Martin, in the end, not even an obstacle. Rex with super pace, but risky strategy. He has got clean air ahead of him. Johnny SVK is only... Well, you can just about see, there you go. There's not too much space between Rex, and it's about 4 seconds. But, that could have gone very differently.
Yeah,
Rex has
no time to lose time, but... Yeah, he seems to be reacting to Rex, but I don't think that's really necessary unless he's going to refuel, and it doesn't seem so.
No, because Roger Chen and Happy D are now going to have no traffic at all. 2-4 is going to come out in some sort of traffic, surely. Just behind Johnny SVK, where is Rex? Rex is there. So those two are back together again, but down the order. Interesting calls to pit that early.
Yeah, what can be said though is that now the gap between Suffer and Rex might be... It's actually closer than it was, so it looks like the undercut, despite Rex being having to overtake 2 cars, it did work for him now. As the gap was about 1 second, and now it's only half a second, so despite having to overtake 2 cars, he gained half a second on Suffer in that one lap. Very interesting.
Must have meant that Sufor's pit stop wasn't as good. I can't really imagine how that gap's come down so much. Maybe Rex just got up to speed after the pit stop quicker than Sufor has managed, and this is getting pretty close. Remember, Sufor was leading the race, and Rex is now all over him.
Yeah, no, I have
a much smaller gap.
I have a theory, because at this point of the race, every driver that's racing on the softest R1 compound is struggling with tire temperatures, and Rex, when he pitted, the tires did cool down a bit by going to the pit lane, so he essentially had that 1 extra lap of cooler tires, so he could have been able to push a bit more.
And Tamas, after such a great qualifying P8 in quali, finds himself right at the back facing backwards, so the 1 lap pace was there, but the luck in the race has not been good, as Sufor, for some reason, has come into the pits again.
I have no idea why. Let's see if he...
Did he get a penalty?
Yes, he did complete the drive-through penalty. I didn't notice before.
We missed the penalty. There was no call that there was a penalty, so we didn't see that happen. So drive-through penalty for Sufor. Apologies, viewers, that we didn't pick up on that sooner.
It's even more insane that Rex manages to take some time away from Sufor when Sufor was speeding in the pit lane, essentially. It's very interesting.
Yeah, well, that's a big bit of egg on the face for Sufor there. Speeding in the pits is such an easy way to have an own goal in a race. And that's a lot of time lost. Finds himself behind Onifus at this stage. And Rex essentially takes over the net lead of race 1.
Yeah, we are about 5 laps to go, even less than that, so very little time to change things. I'm not sure who is yet to pit, but it's about 6 or 7 cars at the front of Rex who are definitely about to pit in the following 4 laps. So unless something terrible happens, it looks like Rex should have the lead secured. Rajichan is currently leading, but he is to do the pit stop.
Happy D also into the pits 3 laps before the end. And let's see where he comes out in relation to Rex. Rex should be ahead. Rex is already ahead and already up to turn 1. So he's maintained the gap over the rest of those drivers as we've got a battle for what would be P3 in the race. It's currently for P2. Let's see what happens.
The Fox on the inside, little contact, forcing 3-3 to wide, and the Fox is ahead for the time being. Very close battle between these two.
Gonna cost them time though. This is going to be good for Happy D. Maybe this is what Happy D pitted for. He saw this battle developing. So you'd think that if they get slowed down anymore, Happy D will keep P3 in the race. But the Fox, we've got a car off. I think we've got a car.
It is Norris.
Yeah, it's Lewis, who is a lap down at this stage, letting the cars through. There's a lot of action, and we've got another car there. That's another Sonoris car.
Oh, that's Yere.
Sorry, it's Yere, not
letting
someone through. As Roger Chen comes over start-finish in the lead, start lap 14. No sign of a pit stop yet. He's got 2 more laps in which to decide to come in this lap or the next. But the gap to the Fox is pretty big at this stage. 3-3-2, not able to close up at the end of the lap either. As Rex drives past Johnny SVK, who I believe is timing out of the server. So Johnny SVK unfortunately experiencing some network trouble at the moment. And Johnny is back, he's rejoined. But he has had an interesting issue. I think he's had some sort of software glitch there because he's crashed at the end of the home straight. So Johnny SVK, unlucky there. His game is frozen, is what he said. So yeah, that checks out. Explains why he wasn't sending packets to the server.
Yeah, let's see if Rajichan opts to pit now or the lap later. Anything else will lead him to disqualification from the race. And let's see if the Fox and 332 will do the same or will do the opposite. So we are into the last sector of this lap. 2 fast turns. And let's watch out Rajichan, what he does. I believe he will opt to stay out, just to stay away from the traffic, but I might be wrong. Yeah. It looked like he might be going into the pit lane, but it was on the first show. But the Fox is going to the pit lane, 332 is not, so that's a split strategy.
Yeah, the Fox has had a bit of a stumble into pit lane there, didn't get the car slowed down in time for the first pit box and had to go to a second one, and that is crucial time. It costs you more time than you think to adjust yourself in the pit lane, and that might be critical in his battle with 332. This has been a lot of action for such a small race, such a short race. Michael, I don't know if we've commentated on a more chaotic race in this championship.
Yeah, this is a very eventful evening, and I also struggle to remember a race with more things happening. As Boy is now in a battle with Criminals, side by side for P19, I believe. with the start-finish line just about side by side, and let's see who is better into the braking zone. It's Creminez on the inside, but the boy is ahead. He has to brake later, but it will be wide. Little sliding, and while he's staying ahead, Creminez is in his slipstream and goes alongside ahead. Now boy will be on the inside of the next turn, which will be a heavy braking zone. And let's see. You can see that the Creminez is peeking to the left-hand side to see where his fellow opponent is.
Around
a lot of space. Yeah, around the outside, still side by side, but now Creminez is on the inside of that hairpin. And it's a switchback from boy. Will it work? I don't know, but he's alongside again. And it looks like he doesn't have enough speed, and he stood behind Creminez.
Back into P18 for boy. As Roger Chen pits, as does 332, as does Cried, as Rex storms past and is chasing down. There you go, there's Roger Chen just getting up to speed, so Rex goes back into the lead. Roger Chen takes P2. It looks like 332 has exited the lane into P3 as Happy D scorches past around the outside.
P4 now, and 332 got time penalty for speeding, so it's irrelevant now.
Okay, that's a shame. 332.
I can feel that.
Yeah, he's put that. That'll push him down the results for sure. But the Fox will be promoted to P4.
That did get the penalty as well, so a lot of driver missed the speeding marks.
Yeah, crucial to mention, I suppose, that this car doesn't have a pit lane speed limiter, so it is easier to pick up those penalties. But yeah, definitely unfortunate for a driver to pick up a penalty, but that's why it's so crucial to practice the pit stop. That's why you see drivers practicing between qualifying and the race.
Absolutely, and I must know something about speeding penalties this week, right? Anyway, that was enough of RTFR. Let's check out how Rex crosses the finish line for the first race of the two. Let's not go anywhere, because after this race we get another one just like this. And let's hope that it will be as eventful with top 15 drivers reversed. But there goes Fragmaster Rex, who has cleared everyone else and is now onto the finish line, winning the race number 1 of this FBM Saturday by Master Race car. And let's wait for other drivers. It's Roger Chen who crosses the line in P2, 2 seconds behind. And let's see who will come third. It looks like Master Race car's Happy D is third and his fellow teammate Fox in fourth. Then it's Onifos, and we are waiting for 6th driver, which should be... I'm not sure yet. We are still waiting. And it's Martin Kappel. It's a very good result for Martin, actually, because he didn't practice before the event at all. And he started somewhere at the back. And it's Highwatt in 7th. Suffer after that drive-through penalty in P8. Twin Cam and 2 drivers bow in top 10. Then it's Master Race car Connex, Fragmaster Hosep.
Yeah, 332 after his penalty finishes in P13. Bride, Creminez, Bilo, and Lewis. Actually, Matty slots in there because Lewis is a lap down at the start-finish line, but absolutely chaotic race. And it looks like after all of the order has shaken themselves out, Creminez finds himself on the hot seat and will potentially be our pole sitter. Provisional pole sitter for race 2 is PAV Creminez, as the rest of the drivers still finishing the race. I think we'll wait. I think that's everybody now. Loki has crossed the line. Let's take a look at the results of race number 1, shall we? Before we get ready for our second race, it's Rex who wins in 25 minutes. Ahead of Roger Chen, Happy D, The Fox, Onifus, Martin Kappel, Highwatt, Sufor, Twin Cam, and Wow, which is pretty much an entirely different order to which we had the race start. So that's really fun. Connex in P11, not a good race in the end for him with that incident that he faced. Then Hosep, a good climb from the back with 332, Cried, Creminez, Bilo, Matti, Zlatanov, Boy, and Hermani, your top 20. And on the second page, we've got Kirku, Mad Jester, JSK, Tamas, AK Destroyer, Magic, Loki, and Lewis. your finishers. Also Hera finishing the race, but Shams was a DNF, Gabri DNF, Ruby, Spear, Dragonhe, Driftmaster, and with whom also DNF, ahead of race number 2, which is going to kick off, as you can see at the bottom of your screens, in just under 5 minutes' time. Which means we've got a pretty interesting race in prospect for race number 2. If race 1 wasn't chaotic enough, Michael, race 2 certainly will be.
Absolutely, it was a very eventful race. That's pretty much, I think, only driver that finished in the position he started this Rex, who was first and finished first. And it was absolutely a disaster for Sufferer after that drive-through, as he lost what seemed to be a safe lead and only finished 8th because of that. So let's see if he's able to make some redemption. He will be starting P7, I believe, in the race number 2. Well ahead of Master Rex, so he should have some initial advantage into the race. Number 2, that will be 16 lap stop. Again with mandatory pit stop, so that's the nemesis of Sufferer for tonight.
Yeah, I think some of the winners and losers from that, Sufor, with that drive-through penalty, even though he won't be starting as high up the race, as low down the race as he could have been if he'd have finished higher up, he does start sort of in that middle of the top 15. He won't really, his position will shift forward from where he finished, so actually he benefits from his finishing position in the end, which means some of the faster drivers will end up behind him and he'll have a second chance to prove himself in tonight's race. The second of the 2 16-lap races will kick off in around about 3 minutes time. We will take a short break and we'll be back about 30 seconds before green. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back just as soon as we can. Welcome back to all the action from the Master Race Car FBM Saturday round 33. The drivers have just finished the first race and It was chaotic. We are already exhausted here in the commentary box, but we're ready to do it all again. Michael, take it away for race 2.
And here we are once again, this time with top 15 reverse. So it's Krimanes on pole with Kreit alongside him in the front row, and Josep 332, Konex, Twincam, Wow, Highwatt, and Suffer, followed by about 30 more cars. So it will be another exciting race, as the lights are now red, and as soon as they go green now. And let's see who gets the best start. It looks like it was a good start from everyone, but very poor start from Kreit, who is already under attack from 332, and Konex go alongside Josep as well. So that's a two-way battle into the first turn. It's 332 and Konex on the inside. Both are overtaking Kreit, and so does Wow. So it's a great battle so far. Looks like no major collision there, as Konex is now side by side with Kreit for P3. Wow is trying to have a look, but he's not being able to do so. And Josep is being overtaken by Super 3 wide behind him, Twincam, Highwatt, and Onifus. But they are very skilled to avoid each other. And looks like Krimenes has been able to hold off the lead, with Suffer making another positions over the good driver as well, who is now under pressure of Josep and gaggle of cars. We see in the middle of the screen Martin Kappel now switching his positions back and forth, as there's everyone around him, and the system has difficulties figuring out who's in which position. And there's Highwatt in battle with Onifus, and he's side by side, not anymore. And it looks like Twincam has been on the grass. No, it was Rex, I believe. No, not sure now. There's so many cars that I'm
getting flashbacks from race 1. It's just too many cars, too much chaos. Don't blame you for not being able to keep track of it entirely, but let's just enjoy the racing action and applaud the drivers for making it around the first lap mostly unscathed, as we see there in the middle of a shot. Rex making a move up to P14 as immediately into the pit lane goes Twincam.
Yeah, 3 whites goes the Fox, Martin Kappel, and Roger Chan. And so far in the first lap, Rex has made only one position, so a very bad start for the previous race, as Rox made the move on Roger Chan. And Rex has now passed Martin Kappel, but he's battling back, as there is a battle at front for the 4th place. But we are now watching the Fox, and there are so many battles that I don't even know who to focus on. But here's the Fox going side by side with Roger Chan, yeah, that is. And he seems to make the move stick. And there in the background is Magister and Kappel side by side. Now Kappel ahead, and there's a semaphore of cars behind them.
There's a traffic light behind. Yeah. Where were they at the start? So we needed them at the start. But anyway, they are very nicely positioned at the moment. I'm sure the order will change. We've had a big crash at the front.
Yellow flag.
It's Krimenes.
Krimenes, yeah.
He's been rear-ended by somebody after trying to recover, and that's just a slap in the face for Krimenes. Really tried to keep it going, but Josep's hit him, and Krimenes had the lead. Obviously, had the pole position, and finds him. So that's a terrible rejoin. That is unacceptable. Driving straight out of the road into the side of, I believe that was Magic. Yeah. That was terrible.
That was absolutely a disaster. So I think Magic will be upset after tonight's race. And yes. Rex is now promoted into P8, P9. Looks like P9 it is, which is still not the greatest result after 2 laps. But he's now right on the tail of Roger Chan and Highwatt. But on his tail, in the meantime, is the Fox, who is trying to deny him from advancing further. So it's now going to go 4 cars. Will they go 3 wide? They go. Rex goes into the middle. This is a very dangerous situation. Wow. And the Fox clears himself as well as Highwatt, so that's the positions for Rex in the space of 5 meters. That was very exciting for the time it lasted.
I have no words after tonight's action. It's just too much. It is just too much, as we've got Highwatt there on the camera being chased down by Boy and Magister. Not in that order. Magister is leading currently.
That was so close that even I have a brown pants.
a bit too much information. You can go and get that sorted out.
After the race,
it is 3-3. It's 3-3-2. I'm just ignoring you. It's 3-3-2 leading ahead of Sufor, but that gap's likely to come down, I think, Michael, because Sufor is on some sort of great pace at the moment, carving his way up to that position from, where did he start? P7 or 8, I think.
Yeah, should be P7, and Suffer has a really fantastic card in his hand right now, with only one card being left to clear out, and the next card behind him being his own teammate, so that's pretty much a card there from him. So as long as he doesn't mess up the pit stop phase again, he should be able to comfortably win this race, but it's still too soon to say with how much? 13 laps to go? Yes, it is.
Not quite.
So
12 or so.
we are on lap 4, the beginning of lap 4, so it should be 13, essentially.
Yeah.
If
Here we go. That is right. a lot of time taken away from 3-3-2 there immediately. Sufor fantastic on the brakes into turn 2, and this should be a fairly straightforward overtake if he can find the place to get through. Is he going to do it before the double? Yes, he's thinking about it, but 3-3-2 has him covered off. Super close quarters driving, and you can just see the whole field bunching up behind our race leader now. Sufor is going to want to get through quickly, but he might have to wait until the home straight.
Yeah, absolutely. Now in these fast flowing turns, he will be struggling in the air of the car ahead, so he has to keep the distance and wait for the start-finish straight.
Keeps absolutely pinned through the second to last corner, and this is going to be a fabulous tow that he's going to get out of the final corner. Out onto the rumble strips, and now it's free rein. He just has to get around 3-3-2 safely. 3-3-2 does not defend.
He's essentially defenseless, so it's no point trying to battle Suffer. He will be ahead by the time they even get into the end of that straight. He might try to make a switch back, but I think it's very sensible from 3-3-2 to not pursue any fight back, because he is not the Suffer is not the guy he's about to battle. As Maxis has made a pit stop, I believe that's the first car into the pit lane.
You say
but
that.
3-3-2 is now trying to get back.
Why not?
Will he be able? He
Why
goes
not?
around the
Trying
outside.
to go around the outside, and he's done it.
Yeah, he's done it, but Suffer is on the
lovely.
inside. But 3-3-2 is now in a favorable position. Connex is now catching back. Suffer seems to be trying for a switch back, but went a bit wide.
That's brilliant defending.
Yeah. There was a tire change for the Maxis, and now Suffer is saying that was enough, and he's trying to force his move. And it looks like he made it. Yeah, and it should be solidified, because I think now 3-3-2 will be struggling into the TR, and it will allow Connex to catch up to the leading duo.
Yeah, that's helped bunch everybody back up, so thank you very much to 3-3-2 for that. But now we'll see Sufor check out, I'm sure. He won't allow that to happen again. Although 3-3-2 is still there, but likely not going to be close enough for a move out of the final corner. Let's see. No, I think Sufor has got that wrapped up now.
Yeah, he's a bit too far.
Onifus might have a move on Cried. Yes, he does.
Yeah, he goes around the left-hand side and should be ahead by the time we get into the braking zone. Yeah, he's already ahead. And so that is P4 for Onifus for the time being. Sergichan is now battling with Wow. Sergichan on the inside and already passed. Wow has went a little bit too wide. Highwater
and Capel come together.
Yeah.
So that was a battle we just caught the end of there. Martin Capel again in the wars in this round, and actually gets overtaken there by who's he been overtaken there by? Mad Jester. And potentially Boy as well. He's not careful. Oh, Mad Jester's just driven off the track. So it gives the place back to Martin.
Yeah.
Martin finds himself tucked up with Boy, and Boy might fancy a move here. And this will be the move for P9. Martin defends the racing line super close through there. Nose to tail. Front wing to gearbox.
As these two are fighting, the Fox is catching very quickly to them, as Boy is now having 2 tires on the grass, which will slow him down because of the lack of the grip. And this should allow the Fox to catch up even more. He's about half a second behind the Boy at this point. And the Boy will not be able to take advantage of the Martin Kapal's slipstream. So it's now all in the hands of the Fox, who is not close enough, but he's definitely on pace to catch up and overtake Boy anytime soon. There we can see them, evenly spaced. And there's the leading Sufferer now creating a gap over 332. We're still having a very good race from those front starting positions. So far he managed to avoid any trouble.
Yeah, and Roger Chen has managed to get the fastest lap. He's pulling Rex around with him, but we are running out of laps here for the drivers that won the previous race to affect the front. There's quite a large gap actually, 4 seconds, almost 5 seconds between Rex and our race leader Sufor. And you'd think that with Sufor's current pace and the pace of the drivers around him, it's going to be quite a challenge for these guys to catch up. But we saw what happened at the end of the last race. Sufor scored an own goal and got a penalty and cost himself a good result. As Boy has now decided he wants to have another go with Kapal, and we've also got the Fox joining in.
And one of us has made overtake on Onyx in the background, and let's check out the view of Fox, as he's now getting close enough to take advantage of the slipstream of the car ahead. But the car ahead, which is Boy, is also very close to the car of Martin Kapal, so this might be a 3-way battle until the next lap.
It's going to be a 3-way battle over the start finish straight, I think, here.
The Boy is struggling in the TR of Martin Kapal, so we are now right on the tail of each other. Let's say if this will be a 3-wide, maybe not, as the Fox is now a bit too far. But it's definitely a 2-way battle ahead of him, with the green car of the Boy on the left-hand side, overtaking the car of Martin Kapal, and he's already ahead. He now goes defensive. Martin tried to switch back. No, he will try to go around the outside, which is very interesting. If it didn't work out, but he will have ability to take the advantage of the slipstream now on the back straight, which, as we have seen before, is a valid option.
And the Fox is not close enough to capitalise again. These two. Oh, Martin!
This is absolutely dangerous.
Wiping out all the cones as Boy goes defensive, and Martin pushes himself off the track. As now the Fox gets the line, gets the inside line. Probably spooked Martin a little bit there, but he is through.
Yeah, Martin is a very experienced driver, so it was safe to say that he knows what to do when Fox goes around like that. But he now might wait for Fox to throw off Boy and take advantage of that again. And now we're side by side, the Boy on the inside, the green car. And let's see if little contact, more contact, and let's see if Martin Kapal makes a switch. Yeah,
not enough room for a 3-wide. Don't do that.
But it would be beautiful.
It was almost. He was almost thinking about it. You could see it. But Boy trying to hang it around the outside on the Fox, and this could all change again as we head onto the home straight. There are cars queuing up behind as well. We've got Mad Jester only a couple of seconds behind. This is so close racing. It's brilliant stuff to watch, really. And we are going to get a 3-wide here.
This is going to be 3-wide,
yeah. Yeah, 100%. Martin's going to go
right.
in the middle.
Martin has to go through the middle. And let's see how this ends up. We only see 2 cars now. Yeah, Martin Kapal on the middle.
Beautiful.
Absolutely, it's a formation flying into the braking zone. Who has the biggest balls to brake late? It looks like the Fox and Martin Kapal are braver than the Boy. And Martin Kapal tries to keep his position around the outside, and he does so, but he's not vulnerable in the slipstream.
This is fantastic, and this is the fight for
Absolutely.
P10 or P9, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Every positions matter. As now Kapal is under pressure of the Fox, and the Boy has nowhere to go, so it's only 2 wide. The Martin Kapal on around the outside.
Oh,
no! Come on,
it had to break at some point, didn't it? We had to lose someone, but unfortunately at this point it was Martin, just 2 wide in the end. But Boy is still having a go. He still wants to get past the Fox. It's not going to happen, is it? The Fox has got way superior pace at this point in the race, but he's really trying. Fantastic. As we've got a massive battle here for P5, or P4 rather. Yeah, Connix there in P5 is sort of almost defending from McElroy and Rex at this stage. So Rex has made his way all the way up to P7. And this could be 3 wide as well, Michael, if you're ready for it again.
Absolutely, and Konix
Konix
for
picks,
the
okay.
pit lane entry. Yeah.
Konix wasn't ready for it.
Yeah. And Rex has a pretty easy pass around Clyde, who is essentially defenseless now. And they are now both catching up to Rajichen, who did not take advantage of the slipstream of the car ahead, as there was not any. So it might be 3-weight battle with him instead in a lap or two, as Konix has made no mistake in the pit lane, and he's back onto the track.
Critically behind his teammate Happy D, who is in P11 at the moment. Michal decides to pit. Who's he in the pit lane with? I think he's in the pit lane with Majesta.
And we have just lost Johnny SVK, who has lost the connection from the server. Yeah, Locke has been into the pit lane, and there is a side-by-side battle between Bevo and Mate. Not anymore, but that might change in a few seconds, as the car behind regains speed in the draft. There they are, and let's see who will be braver. Will be the car on the inside. It looks like so, but Bevo seems to be able to hold it around the outside, and it will be the inside of the next turn. It is, and he's forcing fellow competitor around the outside of the turn, and the red car of Thomas, it should be, is now ready to join the party. Would be 3-way battle. It is, it's not 3-white now, but it looks like Bevo has a lot of will to get past Mate.
Yeah, fabulous stuff here in race 2. Bilo now just behind Mate. So that place has gone in the favour of the MRc driver, as we've got Twincam and AK Destroyer potentially going to be switching places down the home straight. Twincam lining up an overtake unless he chooses to pit. Nope, going to be a pass to the outside though. He should be ahead by the time he goes to the brake. Ooh. Bit of a swerve, but he is ahead.
Yeah, very clean move. There's a yellow flag ahead. Somebody has been slow, but it's up to pace now. Not sure who that was. But all I can say, it has been Boy, who is still trying to get up to speed, has been overtaken by Happy D. Is now under pressure from Konix.
Interested to know who 332 is. A new player to my mind. Not sure if they are a newcomer or whether they're experienced. But not someone I recognise, Michael. Impressive drive here.
So, but he's having a really good drive tonight. So
yep.
It's
really good to put it that way. As the laps continue to tick down, we'll be 5 laps to go at the line as Sufor comes across start-finish now in the lead with a 1.8 second gap to 332, a further 0.6 back to Onifus, with Roger Chen currently P4. Oh, interesting.
And it was no pit work for him, so only 1.2 second stop. And he drops into P8, and it should be, unless he gets overtaken by oncoming cars. Highwatt gets by, and the Happy is around as well, so it's up to P10 for Master Rex.
Yeah, Konix didn't get through, and this is the battle that we expect to be quite high up in the race by the time everyone else pits, but probably Sufor has got one hand on the win here. It's going to need something quite spectacular from anyone else to take the win away from Sufor here. He's got the fastest lap, he's got clean air, doesn't show any signs of going into the pit lane yet. Zlatanov is exiting the pit lane now after his mandatory stop.
Well, as long as Sufor doesn't have 30 seconds lead on the next car, he's still in trouble, essentially.
Potentially, after his show in race 1. Yeah, you're right, Michael, that's true. The pit lane is still part of the racetrack. Drivers need to do more practice to ensure they don't mess it up in the race. Of course, accidents happen in the heat of the moment, but you've got to practice that pit stop to stop what happened in race 1 happening. As 332 is being wound in slightly here by Onifus, but Onifus, obviously a super talented driver in the single-seater cars, is struggling at the moment to get back to P2.
Yeah, correct into the pit stop, and here's a battle with Highwood Happy and Fragmaster Rex. About to go three wide as Highwood into the pit line, and Happy is now essentially defenseless from Rex. Somebody is out of the pit line, and that was Boy. It was Cry, sorry.
Yeah, it was Boy. Yeah, livery. Way too many cars. 2 green cars today. The Fox exits the pit lane, so too does Highwatt, and everybody changes order once again.
In the meantime, Onifus has made move on the 332, so that's a change for top 3.
Yeah, it happened. That came out of nowhere. The gap was coming down, but it wasn't that close. But there, yeah, you're right. A move made, probably on the brakes, into turn 2 would be my guess. Onifus.
Yeah. And Roger Chen is closing up to 332 very fast as well, but he has only 3.5 laps to do anything, so the clock is ticking down.
As we've got Boy on Conix and Scride right ahead as well, so the sort of darker green is Boy at the back there. Kick of oversteer, and Scride is wide onto the grass. Yeah. Conix will take that place, no problem, at the next corner. And Boy will have a heck of a slipstream here on whoever he wants. Ooh, Conix.
Boy into the inside of Scride, and now in a very strong slipstream of Conix. He has to wait a little bit. Conix goes. I'm not even sure if that's defensive or not.
Oh, here we go. But
anyway, we are going for 3 wide. It's through the middle goes Scride. Boy on the inside. Conix is defenseless, but he can hold the position around the outside if he's brave enough. He's very brave to hold it around the outside. Looks like Boy has had to break the first, and Scride is leading this particular group for the time being. But at this back straight, we will be seeing another slipstream opportunity.
Drive through for the Fox.
Yeah. Another Master Race car member got the drive through. It's not Suffer this time. Suffer is yet to pit, so both will get drive through.
That's the first drive through from Master Race car in this race. Let's hope there's no more, as Sufor will be deciding now whether to pit or to wait. If I had to tell him what to do, I'd say wait. You've got track position. Rex has got the fastest lap, but he's 22 seconds behind you, so you might as well keep track position at this stage. He's nowhere near. He's not going to interfere with your race at this stage. And there's a very big gap between him and Wow. It's almost 10 seconds. Let's see what Sufor chooses to do. He's going to come in.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, don't mess it up. Keep it under the limit.
Very careful entry. But there have been Master Race car members who did get speeding at the exit of this particular zone.
So yeah, nice and slowly.
Be careful. Yeah. He falls provisionally for P3. Waits very long for spinning up out of there. He's really careful, and I can't blame him.
Yeah, well, there you are. That's the picture. Rex is behind 332 Roger Chen as well. Oh, Boy, bed in the pit lane on the way in. So that's another one. Very easy to pick up a drive-through, apparently. And lots of drivers doing it. But yeah, there is Rex just ahead of Happy D, currently in P6. So we've got Destroyer lining up Mad Jester. Oh, goodness.
So very strong swerving around there.
That was close.
He has essentially lost all the speed advantage he had with that zigzagging. So yeah, not very careful driving. It looks like Pex has left the race for whatever reason. He has spectated and disconnected very soon afterwards. Probably some crash he had. As we are now watching AK Destroyer losing touch with Manchester, he was battling with just a few moments ago. It looks like Martin Kappel is quickly catching up to these two.
And Rex might find himself in a slipstream on Roger Chen's, with maybe 1 lap to go at this rate. They are closing up. 332 might help Roger along here as Onifus finally pits. Has Wow come into the pits as well? He has to come in. Yes, he has. there we go. So Onifus and Wow in the pits. They will hand over the lead back to Sufor. But where will they come out? That is going to be the interesting thing. Sufor comes past onto the final lap. 332 is going to be out well ahead. So yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter because 332 has 30 seconds penalty again.
That's true. That's true. And Onifus has made it out in P2.
Yeah, a very good result from Onifus, as long as he doesn't make any mistake in this final lap.
Yeah, that's really nice. And one final ditch attempt for Roger Chen to try and get a podium here. And one final attempt for 322 to... Oh, he's already got the podium. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the podium because there's no way 322 can make the second gap on him.
He needs to consolidate it because he's also got Rex right behind him. And Rex looks super hungry. And there's enough time, enough corners, enough lap left for Rex to get that move made. We've seen him do more with less time. And 332 might be a moving chicane here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a crash on the final lap. That's the Fox going off at turn 1 with Magic there. So Magic involved in quite a lot of stuff. Magic avoided it, but the collision was with Maxis, I'm hearing. As out of the final couple of corners comes Sufor. If you want to take it away to the end, Michael.
Of course. It's my pleasure to bring Sufor back into the finish in the first position for this time being. There's battle for the P2 between Onifus and 332 who has the penalty, but here we are watching Sufor now without a mistake finishing the race number 2 in the first place, and a gaggle of cars coming through that finish line. It's Onifus in what will be P2, Rajic 3rd, Rexford 5th, Happy 6th grade, 332 somewhere around there, but now his 30 seconds penalty is lap sync, so it's P7 for Wincam, 8 Wow. Matej just has beaten Husset by 2/100ths of a second. Thomas 11, Hivat 12, still 30 seconds penalty lap sync for 332. So
yeah,
Boy,
that was the second time.
Yeah,
second time he got that tonight.
And for the player, this is the longest half a minute in his life. And it looks like Bio is 14th, 15 Martin Kapal and AK Destroyer in P16. And now it's Boy who is having his penalty being still having elapsed.
Martin missed the memo. He's supposed to finish 15th in race 1.
And in the meantime, it's P17 for Loki, Magic in P18, Hermane 19. Boy seems that after that penalty will be classified as P20. Then 21st is the Fox after that disaster in the last laps. 22nd Magister, and so far 23rd Zlotanov. And last to close the finish line apparently is Maxis in P24.
And that is everybody across the line. Thank you very much, Michael. I won't read out everything because Michael's just done a stellar job. But your top 3 are Sufor, Onifus and Roger Chen tonight. 26 minutes, so a slightly slower race too, but very, very much, still lots of drama and lots of action, but way more predictable and way less sketchy. But yeah, the drivers managing the race very, very nicely. The drivers that got switched back to the mid-pack, finding their way through to the front with Rex there classified in P4, having started P15, best of the rest. Fastest lap going to Rex as well, a 1:35.11. That was a very, very entertaining night of racing, that, Michael. FBM Saturday by the Master Race Car team. Impressing as always, and seemingly quite enjoyable for the drivers once again.
I'm very much exhausted, and I wasn't even racing, so that much how exciting it was for us in the commentary booth. And I'm very looking forward for the next racing in the FBM Saturday by Master Race Car in 2 months' time.
Absolutely, and we'll talk about that in just a moment, as we thank all the drivers, of course, for their attendance and putting on a special show once again. And that draws to a close round 33 at Westhill National Reversed, with 2 rounds left to broadcast. But of course, this championship happens every single Saturday. You can join in with all the action at the same time and the same place every single week. You'll see action again from us here at round 42 at a combination to be confirmed the week before on Saturday, the 18th of August. Michael, a pleasure as always to have you alongside me in the commentary box. That was a pretty thrilling hour of racing action.
Absolutely, I really much enjoyed it, and as soon as we end up, I'm going for some very cold glass of water because I really need it.
Yeah, it's pretty warm here too. Stay safe, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend. Thanks very much again to the MRC team for partnering with us for coverage of FBM Saturday in 2025. To all of you for watching, to Chris McElroy in the background for his stellar work on the cameras and everything else he does for the team. And yeah, to everyone out there, have a great evening. We'll see you on a future broadcast. Have a good one, and good night from us.
Good night, everyone.